Hello everybody, my name is Rex Testarossa, but you can call me Red, and welcome back to Pokemon Generations. This is Pokemon Yellow, and here we are in the Pokemon Center on Route 3. Last episode, we caught ourselves a Clefairy inside Mount Moon and named her Tattle. Ah, she's amazing, isn't she? Anyway, in this episode, we're gonna be going back into Mount Moon and hopefully finish the dungeon. Now, I want to actually split this episode into two because I don't want to have another 30-minute episode. So this one is gonna be split in two parts, okay? So if you want to skip this one, go ahead, do it. We're just gonna be picking up a lot of items and making some progress. So the first thing I actually want to do here is level up my Clefairy a little bit. She's level 9 and that is way too weak. So I'm gonna be keeping her in front of the party and probably switching out to Zoo because Zoo is already very powerful. So he can take care of whatever Clefairy can't. But still, gotta keep Clefairy up in front so she can get a share of the experience. So the first thing that I want to do is fight this one girl right here. Why do I want to do that? Well, she is a lass and she has a Clefairy of her own. I guess this is a good time to talk about Clefairy, right? So, Clefairy is a beast. Clefairy is an amazing Pokemon, one of the better ones out there in Generation 1. Clefairy has 70 base HP, and that is absurd for a first form Pokemon. Not only that, but it also has a lot of special stat. I think it's 60, and it also has great defense and attack. I mean, I've seen better defense and attack, but still, for what it is, for an amazing tank with 70 base HP and 60 special, of course we gotta have balance, so I don't really mind that she only has 45 attack and 48 defense. Yeah, there we go. Clefairy's no Sing. I think they learned this at level 11 or maybe 12, not entirely sure. But yeah, high level Clefairies will have Sing. Sing is a move that Jigglypuff also had, which can put you to sleep with a 55% accuracy. And this is the reason why I actually have Distraction. If something bad happens to some of my main Pokemon, I can just switch over to Distraction and then heal up my Pokemon. So I just send out Distraction. Since it is a Metapod, it has good defense, so it can take a couple hits. And then I go over to my items, choose an Awakening, and use it on Zoo. So I can get rid of that nasty Status element which will prevent me from acting. When you are asleep, you cannot take any action. So yeah, I think you have to go through... Now, there's like a 50% chance in every turn that you will wake up and get rid of the sleep condition. So yeah, it is not impossible to get rid of sleep, but it's very annoying. And it can go from anywhere between 1 turn and 5 turns. So just use an item. Don't even bother trying to wake up, just use an item. Of course, if you don't want to use an item, you can just try to wake up, but anyway. Yeah, there is a chance where you will wake up, maybe right away on the very turn that you'll get put to sleep, or maybe it will be 5 turns later, so just pick your poison. Anyway, back to Clefairy. So, Clefairy is a pure normal type. Because of that, most of the attacks Clefairy is going to use are going to be normal type. And normal type is a physical type, so it would be better if they were special, because of course Clefairy has more special than attack. But still, that is not a deal breaker. Normal type moves have a lot of base power, and that on itself is already enough to deal a lot of damage. And since Clefairy is also a normal type, of course they will get 7 type attack bonus from normal type moves. So she doesn't need a lot of attack in order to deal a lot of damage. The moves will take care of that for her. Because that having a low attack stat is not that much of a deal breaker for Clefairy. Not only that, but normal type Pokemon usually can learn a lot of different moves. And some of those moves will be special. And Clefairy having that high of a special stat, well, that medium of a special stat, can make her a really good special user. And since she is also a normal type with good physical attack, she can also dish out a lot of physical damage. A lot of physical and special damage. Of course, to balance it out, she does have really low speed. But as long as you can get past that low speed stat, Clefairy is an amazing Pokemon. Oh, and by the way, here's something really cool that you can do. Before taking 3 steps after beating a trainer, Pikachu is gonna cheer for you if you talk to him. Yeah, of course, after taking those 3 steps, he's gonna go back to his normal thing. Anyway, Clefairy really is really strong. I highly recommend you use it. Of course, it evolves using a Moonstone, and just like most Pokemon that evolve through Stone, it is not gonna learn any moves after evolving, so be careful when you evolve it. And right here we picked up TM12. TM12 contains Water Gun. Water Gun is a water type move, as you might have guessed, and I want to teach this to Tattle, because, once again, Tattle can learn a lot of different moves, and since she has good special, her special attacks are gonna be pretty strong. Also, there's a trainer right here, but I want to fight him after picking up this one item. It's a potion. Okay, cool. So right now I want to fight this guy, and he's just another bug catcher. He's just gonna have some bug Pokemon for us to fight, so I'm just gonna cut this one battle out. There's no need for me to show it. You've already seen this one battle many times before, so be right back. Okay, from that fight, Clefairy grew a level, and I gotta say, I love having mixed attackers. There we go, level 10. That dude had a Kakuna, and had Clefairy only known physical moves, then she would probably have had a really hard time beating that guy, and I would have to switch over to Zoo in order to beat that guy. So here we are in Basement 1. I have already gone this way, but I actually want to come back because there's actually one trainer that I skipped right here in the room where I caught Clefairy. And I wanted to wait until I had Clefairy to fight this guy just because I want her to get a good share of the experience. There was an HP up right there. I'm gonna be using that item in not too long. I don't really want to use that item right now just to... It won't make that much of a difference anyway, so I might as well wait a little bit. And right now, here's the stranger's line of sight. I want to fight him real quick, and he says, "We, Team Rocket, are Pokemon gangsters." We have heard about Team Rocket a couple times already. If you talked around to the NPCs in Pewter City, they would have talked about Team Rocket. And there was also one guy on the Pokemon Center of Route 3 that also talks about Team Rocket. And Team Rocket are basically just like the guy said, Pokemon gangsters. Their mission is to steal Pokemon and use them to conquer the world. Yes, steal Pokemon from trainers. Their teams are pretty much always going to be the same, these Rocket Grunts. It's not going to vary too much. There are, I think, 6 or 7 different Pokemon that Rocket Grunts can have, and this is one of them, Sandshrew. A really good reason why it's highly recommended that you have a Pokemon that can learn the Water Gun TM that you pick up on the first floor is because of these guys, Sandshrew, and also some other Pokemon that you can run into the wild here in Mount Moon. Sandshrew, pure ground type, so it takes double damage from water moves. Even though Clefairy doesn't have same type attack bonus from it, the Pokemon that receive the move still take double damage. That's how the damage calculation works. So having Water Gun makes real easy work out of these guys. And of course, Pikachu doesn't... I missed that move? Seriously? And of course, Pikachu can really hit this guy really hard because Sandshrew has a lot of physical defense, so Quick Attack's not gonna do that much, especially without same type attack bonus, and electric moves don't affect pure ground types. Oh, nice! Clefairy grew to level 11! Those are some good stats. Really high special, as you would expect. Its speed could be better, but I guess it's as good as it will get for a Clefairy. Yeah, don't really mind. And now it's gonna use a Rattata. Once again, Rattata is one of those 6 or 7 Pokemon that Rocket Grunts can have. Do I want to switch? I do. Teddo's kind of weak, and Teddo's kind of weak, and Rattatas are somewhat fast, so I do want to switch over to Zoo so I can take care of that guy. So I'm just gonna paralyze it to, make easy work out of it. I could be using damaging moves that would make easier work out of them, but having paralysis and not using it is kind of a waste. So might as well use it. If something happens to Zoo, I don't know, maybe this Rattata gets 5 or 6 critical hits in a row, then I would have to switch over to Clefairy, and if Rattata is not paralyzed, then Clefairy can't actually do anything. So yeah, I might as well have a safe move, have a safe battle, I guess. And yeah, we're just gonna drink some water here real quick. The weather here has been really crazy, so I don't even bother. I gotta stay hydrated. Gotta keep that throat nice and lubricate. I don't even know. Anyway, next Pokemon, Zubat. I'm gonna switch over to Tattle just so she can get some of the experience, and then I'm gonna switch over back to Zoo. I know that this Zubat doesn't actually have a lot of damage, so because of that, I feel completely... Oh, good. I feel completely confident that he's not gonna knock out Zoo once he comes into battle. And of course, Zubat is a flying type, so it takes double damage from Thunder Shock. And at that level, I think it's gonna knock it out instantly. Yes, it did. Awesome. So, that move that Zubat was trying to use, I think at level 11, Zubat learned Supersonic. Supersonic is a move that may inflict you with a new status condition, Confusion. When you are inflicted with Confusion, there's a 50% chance where you will attack yourself during your action turn. It will take from 2 to 5 turns to shake it off, and there is no way to cure it. The only way to get rid of it, well, Confusion is a volatile status condition, and just like most status changes, such as Growl, Defense Curl, and Harden or whatever, it will wear off if you switch out your Pokemon. So if you get inflicted with Confusion and you don't want to actually shake it off in battle, you can just switch out to get rid of it. But yeah, of course, there's a chance where the Pokemon will just use Supersonic again, and then you're gonna get inflicted with Confusion again. So it is a really nasty condition. But still, Supersonic's kind of inaccurate, so it doesn't really matter. Now, on the last episode, we actually picked up an item, which I just gone over, HP Up. HP Up is what we call Vitamin. Vitamins will immediately increase a stat of a Pokemon. HP Up, as you might have guessed, will increase your HP by 1 point. So since it increases HP, of course I want to give it to Tattle because she's more tanky than Zoo, so 1 HP on Tattle will be more effective than 1 HP on Zoo, because she also has good defense, which Zoo doesn't. And now, of course, once we heal, that change is permanent. It will mess around with what we call effort values, which is pretty much every time you defeat a Pokemon, you are going to absorb the stats of that Pokemon, and you're gonna get stronger yourself. So, yeah, vitamins will immediately increase whatever stat by 1 point. Okay, here we are back in Mount Moon. I just wanted to cut the trip. It took about 1 minute, yes, to get from the Pokemon Center to that one trainer. It took about 1 minute. I ran into 2 wild Pokemon, and I didn't actually fight them. I don't want to fight any wild Pokemon here in Mount Moon, because if I do, I'm gonna get to the next gym leader at around levels 21 or 22, and that's just gonna be overkill. I know that the next gym leader is known to be pretty difficult, so it wouldn't be too bad if I was a little bit over-leveled, but I think level 21 or 22 would be a lot of overkill. So I don't wanna actually fight the wild Pokemon because of that. It would be nice to have an item called Repel to stop wild encounters from happening, but I can just cut him out. Cut him out? Which doesn't really make that much of a difference anyway, so might as well do it. And right here we have a new class of trainer. Now, as you might have seen, as you might have already noticed, different classes of trainers will have different Pokemon assigned to them. Youngsters will usually have weak Pokemon because, you know, they're young, they're not supposed to be very experienced, so they're just gonna pick up whatever Pokemon pops up in front of them. And, of course, they're gonna pick up the most common Pokemon. Lesses are the stereotypical young girls, so they just go for cute Pokemon. And bug catchers, of course, they're just gonna use bug Pokemon. And super nerds, this new class of trainer right here, will only use Pokemon that have something to do with man-made. So, for example, here we have Magnemite. Magnemite is a pure electric Pokemon. It has good special, good defense, so it is kind of hard to take it down. But still, pure electric Pokemon. If you have a ground type move, go ahead, use it. It's gonna be completely destructive to this guy. And of course, it won't be able to deal a lot of damage to you, because ground types have a lot of defense, and at this level, Magnemite only knows Pound. So, you have that going for us. So anyway, super nerds usually have only man-made Pokemon, something that has to do with man-made. Magnemite, nice, level 12. Magnemite is kind of a magnet, so, you know, it has something to do with man-made. And next up, it's gonna be sending out Voltorb. Voltorb is a little bit more nasty than Magnemite, but still, as you may notice, Voltorb kind of looks like a Pokeball. And Voltorb's lore, or legend, or whatever you want to call it, is that it is a Pokeball that came to life. Suddenly, yeah, because that super nerds will use Voltorbs too. Voltorb is the fastest Pokemon in the entire... Oh, here we go, Screech. Screech is kinda nasty, it will lower your defense by 2 stages in 1 turn, but Voltorb doesn't have that great of attack stat, so it doesn't really matter. Voltorb is the fastest Pokemon in the game. We cannot catch it yet, so once again, I'm not gonna be going over it. Once we can, I will... Great, critical hit, nice. I will go over it. And boom, it's down. Now, Voltorb is not actually the fastest one, its evolution is, but, you know, Voltorb's evolutionary line is the fastest one. So, yeah, that's super nerds for you. Every class of trainer will have specific Pokemon assigned to them. And right down here, I think this is, no, just another potion. Good enough, I guess. I think the item I'm looking for is right over here, if these Pokemon will allow me to say more than 2 words. Oh, nice. Here we go. This is the item that I wanted to get. Rare Candy. Rare Candy is a very special item. It is very limited in the game, so you have to be careful of when you use them. Basically, a Rare Candy will immediately increase the level of whichever Pokemon you use it on by 1. Yes, it will completely fill up the experience bar for that one Pokemon. If your Pokemon is already like 80 or 90% up on the... Oh, great. I think this is just another bug catcher, so I'll be right back after I fight him. Oh, at level 13, Tattle learns Sing! Yes, it's level 13. I thought it was level 11, but it's actually 13. So yeah, now Tattle has Sing! And our dude's gonna send out a Metapod. I'll be right back. Critical hit? Seriously? Ah, great. When the Caterpie had 1 HP, of course I got a critical. Anyway, but catch her down. But catch her down. As I was saying, rare candies will immediately fill up your experience bar. So if you already have a lot of experience on the Pokemon that you're gonna use... Oh, I spy with my little eye another item. Just gonna pick it up real quick and... Oh, escape rope. Okay, good, good. Rare candies will immediately fill up the experience bar, so if your Pokemon already has a lot of experience, it's probably better to just level up your Pokemon normally, and then after your Pokemon gets to the new level, you level it up. And right here we actually have another trainer. This, I think it's another Les, but she actually has some really interesting Pokemon for us, some new Pokemon for us to fight. Let me see, yes, it's another Les. Hello you, what Pokemon do you have, my girl? She has an Oddish. Oddish is a grass poison Pokemon. Grass type Pokemon resist electric and water, so it will be really hard for me to use special attacks on this guy. Oddish we usually have a lot of special because grass type is a special type, so there we go. Oh, that's quite a lot of damage. Yeah, I could take another hit. Yeah, they usually have a lot of special because they are special Pokemon, but they're also pretty slow. Yeah, grass type Pokemon are usually very bulky and slow. Now I'm gonna switch over to Zoo just to take care of this guy. But still, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I do have physical attack, so it doesn't matter too much. And also, it's spamming Absorb. At this level, Oddish only knows Absorb, which is a move that will deal damage and heal you for half of the damage that you dealt. So right here, Oddish is gonna deal 5 damage, so it will heal for 2 damage. Of course, it rounds down. Half of 5 is 2.5, so it will heal for only... That was a useless critical. That totally was a useless critical. Did not need that. Did not need that. Yeah, half of the HP. Half of 5 is 2.5, so it will be rounded out to 2. And right now, a Bellsprout. Bellsprout is once again Grass Poison, and it follows the Grass-type formula. Bulky Pokemon with good special and lackluster speed. This Bellsprout actually knows Vine Whip, which is a Grass-type move, and, you know, it gets same type attack bonus, but it is also a special move, which Zoo has a lot of, so it can take a few hits, even though it doesn't have a lot of base HP. And just gonna use another quick attack. Another critical. Seriously, 2 in 1 battle. Fine, fine, fine. Yeah, I don't want to use special attacks against them because the only... Nice, level 16. The only special move that Zoo knows is Electric, and Grass resists Electric. And they also have a lot of special, so they will be able to tank it a lot. And yeah, I got pretty beat up from that battle. So I'm just gonna go over to the Pokemon Center again, and I will be right back. Okay, we're back here. So yeah, grass types, be careful when fighting them this early on. We still don't have a good way of taking them on. We will pretty soon, but for right now we don't really have a way. She is the only Pokemon trainer that is actually gonna use grass type Pokemon against us this early on. So doesn't matter too much, but just remember that she is kinda nasty. Anyway, right over here we have yet another letter, so I want to take this one, and I actually want to go over the new Pokemon that we can find around here. Now, on Basement 1 and Basement 2, there is a chance where you may find... Oh, I could not have timed this better. Paras. Paras is a grass bug Pokemon, and I just gotta say, it is really hard to use Paras. Being grass bug, it takes 4 times damage to both flying and fire, and it is highly unlikely that you will run into a team that doesn't have at least 1 or 2 fire-type moves. Flying is a lot more rare, but fire-type moves are pretty common, and because that it becomes really hard to use Paras. Paras does have a good attack stat, but aside from its HP and attack, Paras can't really do a whole lot. Its defense is also not too bad, but once again, with that many weaknesses, it is really hard to use Paras. There is, however, one very good move that Paras learns at level 27, called Spore. Spore is a move that puts to sleep, and it has 100% accuracy, so it always puts to sleep. Yes, that is ridiculous. Because that I actually considered using a Paras on my team. As I said, it is kinda hard to use, but I could manage it. And Paras evolves at level 25 into Parasect, where it will do nothing but gain a few extra stats on the things that it already does. You know, it will become stronger on attack and HP, and it will gain a little bit more special, defense, and speed, but not enough to make it usable. And with Parasect being the final form, it is really hard to use this guy. As I said before, it is not impossible. Every Pokemon can be used as long as you use it properly, but still it is one of the hardest Pokemon to properly use because of all the weaknesses that it has. But still, I actually considered using Paris for my team. I could get around all of its weaknesses, but I just decided not to because I have other plans for a grass type Pokemon. Yeah, can you guess what it is? You probably got it wrong. Or maybe not. I don't even know. Anyway, I actually want to end off this episode right here. So next time, we're going to be continuing going through Mount Moon. So thank you guys for watching this episode, and I'll meet you on the next one. Goodbye.
Who the is this?
I know the answer. Dude, you can just.
Wait, what are you
that.
doing? What?
Just rip them off
What do you
like
mean I
that.
can't? I'm
Dude,
not ripping
it's
anybody
their
off.
intro.
It's just
They
the
made
intro.
it
I'm
for
gonna do a
their
theory on a
series
game,
on
so why
their
can I use
channel.
that?
You can just stick it to your video like you made
Fine,
it.
fine. I won't do
Good,
it.
that's better.
If
I'm
you
glad we
insist
could
that
come to an
hard,
agreement.
I won't use
Thank
the
you,
intro.
thank you. At least this way you won't get into any trouble because you just want to use everything that you see on the internet and you can just keep it.
But
to
I
yourself.
will use the end card, and you can do a thing.
What? So, do you too wonder who the mysterious girl at the first intro of Pokemon is? Well, wonder no more, because I have the answer. Let's look at the facts. She is not a main character. If she were, we would definitely know. She's not even a side character. Once again, if she were, some of us at least would be able to say, oh, I remember her from this episode. In fact, she's not even in the anime at all after the intro. So, basically we have nothing, correct? Actually, no. Even though she only shows up for less than 2 seconds in the intro, we have plenty of information to put an end to that question that has haunted Pokefans for generations. Just take a look at her. What do you see? A shirt with puffy sleeves, wears a miniskirt, has a bow decorating her shirt, wears knee-high socks, carefully groomed long brown hair. Her clothing choices highly resemble those of Japanese school uniforms. This implies that this girl is somewhere in her mid-teens. Oh, it's so obvious then. Schoolgirl is a class in the games. She's a schoolgirl. It's a slam dunk. Right? Well, not quite. Let's remember that this intro, the only appearance of the mysterious girl, is for the first season of the anime, which is an adaptation of the red, green, and blue versions, aka Generation 1. The very first appearance of the school kid in the games was in Gold and Silver, Generation 2, and even then, there were only school boys, not a single schoolgirl was seen in the games until Ruby and Sapphire. How could the animators implement something in the anime that wasn't even in the works for the games yet? So I get where you're coming from, but it's just not possible. Had the schoolgirls been in gold, silver, or maybe even crystal, we could just pair this whole mystery up with the preemptive appearance of Ho-Oh in episode 1 and say that she was an asset left aside for the later games. But that's not how it went. We can't prove or disprove a theory based on ifs. We should probably dig a little further. Since you got a pretty good hit on the NPC classes, let's focus our investigation on that. Nope, no, nuh-uh, nope, definitely not. Oh, Lass, huh? She seems like a pretty good fit, right? The miniskirt, the socks, the hair, the shirt with puffy sleeves. It's the same design. Unfortunately, we don't get a good look at the mystery girl's shoes in the opening, and the lass has her hands over her chest, so we can't really see a bow here. But honestly, all the presented evidence should be enough. What was that, my dear viewer? You're still not convinced? Good. I love a good challenge. Let's look at the sprites for lasses in the later generations then. Skirt? Check. Socks? Check. Shirt with puffy sleeves? Check. Bow? Checked. Groomed hair that is slightly different, probably because she's from another year in another region? Check. Still want more? Yep. Check, 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 and check. More? Oh, aren't you a thirsty theorist? My oh my, I'm definitely seeing a pattern here. What, still not enough? Okay, you can stop now, it's getting annoying. But sure, here's a portrait from Pokemon Stadium, and to finish it all off, the official artwork from Ken Sugimori himself. It's almost as if we could just swap some colors here and there and boom, we have our mystery girl. So there you have it. I'd say it's 100% safe to say that the mystery girl from the first opening of the Pokemon anime is indeed the last class of NPCs present in the games since Generation 1. But then I raise you a question. Why? Just why would the animators bother putting her in the opening if she's not gonna be part of the anime at all? Well, to answer that, we don't need to look very far. Lasses are NPCs, non-playable characters. We see them only for a couple minutes when going through a route to catch that pesky Abra to complete our Pokedex, or maybe even going through Mount Moon to get to Cerulean City and get the second badge. Fact is, we only see them, we only see her, for a short time of our adventure, being the games, being the anime. Now, I dare say that this is exactly where the creators were going for. They wanted to share through the anime an adaptation of the games, a little bit of what the games are like. Oh hey, here's a character not important at all to the story. Just look at it for this 1.7 seconds and then forget about it. You'll be looking at it again in 20 minutes. Maybe the animators wanted us, the viewers, to remember that this, the world of Pokemon, is more than just what Ash and his Companion of the Month experience. Maybe they wanted us to remember that Kanto, Johto, Ho-Oh, Sinnoh, Unova, and Kalos are all living and breathing virtual worlds with people we will never find out anything about, with mysteries that will remain unsolved because there's only so much we can discover when we are limited by what the creators code in or what the directors and writers decide to let us know. Maybe they wanted us, children of today, rulers of tomorrow, to never forget that there's more to the world than what lies in front of us. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Wait, what? What are you doing? Dude, you can't just...
Yeah, I heard you at the beginning.
Oh, so you heard me and you just decided to ignore?
Yep.
That's precisely what happened.
You're
Are
a
you
good
even
detective.
serious right
You'd be a
now?
good
I
game
can't believe you
theorist.
just ripped off the game theorists like...
To the lemonade, and then he said to the man, run the stand.